Hydration is healthy. Make sure you drink some water today. Hey guys, I'm Annie T Designs and welcome back to my YouTube channel. It's been a while since we've done a proper cosplay tips video, so I figured now was the great time to do so. Right now things have quieted down on the cosplay and convention front, so let's talk a little bit about conventions. Obviously it's been a little while since we've all been properly at conventions, and now we're all back into it and feeling the results of tiredness because of how busy we made ourselves. So I feel like right now is a great time to talk about a very important subject, convention safety. We're all a little bit out of practice about conventions and cosplaying safely at conventions, so now is the best time to go into convention safety. I'm going to be splitting up the different forms of convention safety into 4 types: health, comfort, communication, and people. You'll see what these categories mean later. So the first part of convention safety, health. Be sure to eat, bring water, take breaks to consume those. Make plans to take breaks to eat and drink as well, because a lot of times you get so caught up in all the convention and all the excitement that you forget, and then suddenly you don't know why you feel so dizzy, or you don't know why you feel lightheaded, and then suddenly you realize you haven't eaten for over 5-6 hours. I've done it, you've done it, we've all done it. We need to learn to not do this, guys. Drink water, have a water bottle with you, have something on your bag, your con bag, where you can put a water bottle. It doesn't need to be a big one, just a refillable small water bottle is all you'd really need, and somewhere to refill it. Make sure you drink though, especially at hot summer conventions. You will not realize how dehydrated you are until you drink water again, or until someone's calling an ambulance because they're worried about you fainting. I've seen people pass out at conventions, my friends have seen it. Let's go into 2023 with less dehydration from cosplay and conventions. Something very important, this is a learned skill. This will not come very quickly, especially if you're younger. When you're older, this is a skill you start to learn, but start to take notice of your energy levels. Know your limits, know what will tire you out, because you don't want to be absolutely exhausted at a convention, because that could lead to some very dangerous situations for your health. It is not worth pushing yourself to a point of exhaustion, overheating, etc. for the sake of cosplay and cons. Someone who is chronically ill, people who are a little bit older, people who have had experiences like this at conventions are usually a little better at gauging their energy levels and gauging these types of things, but it's definitely something to keep note of if you've never had to really think about these things before. If needed, and if you have to take some forms of medication, set an alarm on your phone for when you're supposed to take them. Now this might seem like common sense, or you might think, well, I've never needed an alarm before. Trust me, it's actually a very good idea, because sometimes you get so caught up in the moment at the convention that you didn't realize how long it's actually been, and suddenly you've missed your scheduled time for medication by 2 hours. I've done this before, friends have done this before. A lot of these tips I'm expressing from experience, you guys. Try to have a first aid kit on you, because again, you never know. Even little blisters on the back of your feet from uncomfortable shoes can really hinder your experience at a convention. And of course, because this is also pandemic times, bring hand sanitizer with you, have a mask with you. If you do have any symptoms that could be COVID related, could be mistaken as COVID, if you have a cold or anything, don't be afraid to wear a mask. No one should judge you for doing so. And if they do, honestly, like really, you're gonna judge someone for this. And no matter if it was pandemic times or not, wash your hands as much as you can, hand sanitize often, because you're in a space with a lot of people, and that's when you could potentially catch something. And our second category, comfort. A lot of cosplays are not the most comfortable things in the world. They'll have uncomfortable high shoes, weird strappy sandals, all sorts of things like that, and sometimes a comfortable option isn't an option. But you can always pack yourself a more comfortable option, something for after the photo shoot, after the cosplay competition, something that you wear when you're walking the con, not necessarily for the fancy photos or anything like that. Or if you can, see if you can plan a more comfortable style of shoe for the costume to begin with. Sometimes this is actually really workable, sometimes it's not as much, but comfortable shoes to actually walk around the con is a must. Blisters can really suck. A lot of people can get overwhelmed or overstimulated while in costume, so try to plan to bring a change of clothes if that is something that you're worried you might experience. Because there's nothing worse than being suddenly really overstimulated, having like a wig on your head and all these clothes and textures you're not used to wearing, with a lot of sounds and a lot of people and just a lot, because conventions are colorful, bright, loud. So if you're someone who's worried about getting overstimulated or overwhelmed, there's no harm in packing a change of clothes. Maybe it's for right after the masquerade, you've entered the competition, you're like, okay, I'm done, costume's coming off as soon as I get off stage. That's totally fine. You've done your photo shoot. Or maybe it's just, well, I lasted all morning in the costume and it's too hot and I'm not comfortable anymore, I want to change out. There is no harm in doing so, and no one will judge you for doing so. or at least they shouldn't. Maybe if you're someone who knows you can only last a few hours in cosplay, have that plan set. I'm gonna go back to the hotel room. I'm gonna go to the washroom to change at this time. Temperature, because this is one of the biggest indicators of comfort. I've been to conventions where I'm outside in the snow in January. I've been to conventions that are in the middle of 40-degree humidity in the summertime. If possible, try to plan your cosplays accordingly. Wear your warmer cosplays to the winter convention and wear your lighter costumes in the summer ones. Sometimes I know very well from experience as well that this won't be able to be really manageable. Maybe it's because you have a group planned and you happen to be the one character with exposed skin when all the other characters are very covered and they want to do an outside shoot in January. So do try to bring layers with you to go to that photo shoot. Plan things that will help you cool down if you're in big armor in the summertime. This is also a great time to mention the change of clothes. If you know you won't last very long in the hot armor, bring some light, cool layers to wear afterwards. This can save your body a lot of grief. And of course, social comfort. Go to the convention with someone you are comfortable with. On a social level, someone that you're comfortable with talking to. If something bad happens or you're in an uncomfortable situation, someone that you're comfortable telling that you're in an uncomfortable situation. This will be more fun for the convention. This will be safer and all around just a better situation if the people you're going with are people you're comfortable with. The third category, communication. Communication is key. Bring your phone and make sure it's charged. If you have portable chargers or you feel more comfortable with also having a charger in your bag, that's a great item to put in the con bag. Have the phone numbers of everyone that you're at the con with. So if you're going with 6 different people, have all of their numbers on your phone so if you need to find one of them, you can contact them right away. If you're planning on splitting up or if you're worried about losing each other in the big crowded halls, plan a meeting place, whether it's the big statue out in the courtyard or the information desk in the middle of the convention hall. Plan a spot that will be your meeting place if you get split up or your meeting place when you plan to get back together and meet up again. If you were attending a convention alone, which a lot of people do, make sure that someone outside the convention knows you're going. Let them know that you'll be at that con, when you'll be at the con, when you're leaving, when you're coming home. So like whether it's a parent, aunt, uncle, your neighbor who might be looking after your cat, someone should know that you're gone so that if suddenly you're gone longer than expected or if something happens at the convention, they are more likely to be prepared to help you with that situation. Accidents can happen at conventions, there can be emergency situations, or maybe something emergency's happening at home and they're worried because they think you're missing. Make sure someone knows where you are when you're going away. And a very important lesson that a friend of mine was actually talking about when I was talking about doing this video, do not put your device or your wallet or anything else important like that down on the ground, whether it's to look at the different booths, whether it's while you're at a photo shoot. Know where your device and your wallet is because they have been stolen. It's easy for some people to do that. They see an opportunity, they take it. It really sucks when this happens, but it has happened to people before. So make sure you know where it is because a communication device, a phone, is really important to have with you when you're at a big convention like this. And of course your wallet too, because that could have all your personal information and such as well. So don't put these items just down, even if it's for a second, because you could forget them or you could get them stolen. And if you lose this, you're losing a lot of your communication with your fellow con friends. And the final category, number 4, people. Be wary of people. There are usually a lot of people at conventions. There's a reason that we say things like stranger danger. Obviously not every single person at the convention is going to be dangerous. If anything, conventions are usually considered a safe space for a lot of people. But not every single person is going to have the best intentions at heart. Whether they're going into the convention with those intentions or not, some people are just not good people and it really sucks. Do not go off alone with strangers. This is for kids, this is for adults well into their 30s. Just don't go off. Do not go off with people that you don't know, especially if no one knows where you're going. Even my friends and I, if we're gonna go off and do something on our own, we let each other know, just in case suddenly we don't show up that night at the hotel room. While they might actually be like, yeah, I'm just doing a cool photo shoot, wanna come with me? Even if it's a photographer, a fellow cosplayer cosplaying from the same show as you, just don't go off alone unless someone knows where you are. Or say, yeah, I'll come along, but I'm going to bring, and I would go into everything about convention creeps, but I actually have a separate video all about this subject already, dealing with identifying convention creeps and how to actually deal with them in a safe and legal way. So these are my very surface level convention safety tips. This is for people of all ages, whether you're new to conventions or you just need a little reminder because you're a little bit out of practice with conventions. Let's all try to make 2023 a safe, happy, healthy year so that we can all enjoy our conventions as much as possible. Because in the end of the day, a convention where you're in cosplay, whether it's an anime convention, Comic-Con, are meant to be fun. And I want everyone to have as much fun as possible. So if you want to check out my channel, I have a whole playlist of videos with different convention tips, including that dealing with cosplay creeps video. So if you want to check out some more tips, I have a whole bunch over there. I would love to do some more, and I really want to get into also doing cosplay safety in a little bit as well. So if you guys want to see that, be sure to like, subscribe, and all that good stuff. And I'll see you guys in the next video. See you guys later.